what I've got beside me here is a KZ650 or Z650 from about 1978, 44 years old, and it's still on its original exhausts. Now, one of the ways to take value off your bike faster than anything else is to put a 4-into-1 on these. I know it was very much the vogue back in the day, but if you've got a bike that's on its original exhaust, it's worth much more, certainly in the UK, than it would be if I had a 4-into-1 on. So you've got to try and save these any way you can. Now, I bought this about 7 or 8 months ago, and I noticed that the exhausts were taped up on the end. The guy had photographed it quite artfully, and I asked him straight out, are the exhausts short? He said, no, I don't know why he's taped it around the end. The exhausts are fine. It was not true, and as you can see, the exhausts are really shot to bits. So how do I keep the value in this bike without trashing the exhausts? Well, this is what you do. You can buy these Dunstall types, and they're about £120 a set, something like that. They're really quite pretty, they're well made, and I've got to cut the old exhaust off. I'll just put this back in the box. I will need to cut the old exhaust off around this joint here, and as you can see, it's double skinned in there. So I'm going to cut through to that without cutting the inner pipe, and then with luck I'll have enough of that piece left there that this will clamp onto it. It'll slide nicely onto the mating points here, and we'll have a result. So I've not done one before, but I've had several of them done for me, and maybe it's time I start doing it myself now. So I'm going to have a go at this now, and let's do it together. The first job to do here is to get the whole exhaust off, so I'll pop it off now. Let's get it on the bench and let's start cutting around these. So let's have a look now. Right guys, several sweaty minutes later, I've got this thing off. And the good news is, the balance pipe came off really easily, which I did not expect it to. I thought I'd have to try and get it all out at once. So the Lord having given me a wee present there, I'm sure I can expect a curveball later. So what I'm going to do now, with my grinderette and a cutting blade on it, I'm going to cut round here on the joint, just on that weld there, and then I'm going to cut a little bit further down, just to take that outer kind of tapered piece off, and I hope then it will reveal the inner part there that I'm going to try and clamp onto, and then I'll cut it right through and cut it off, and I can see what I'm dealing with then. So let's start now. I'm going to put some earplugs in because these things are incredibly noisy, and having been quite cavalier about these things when I was a young man, and largely got away with it. I'm much more careful these days. So I'm going to pop these in, and let's give this let's have a grind at this and see what we can see. So I'm going to cut round here, and just on the inside of the weld there, with my grinderette, which is there, and then I'm going to cut a little further down in there, which I hope will allow me to take this tapered piece away. Then I can see the size of the part inside, and I'm trying to get as much of that as I can available to me so I can clamp onto it with the new Dunstall. So let's give it a go. Right guys, I've cut this off, as you can see, and not for the first time when I'm showing you these things I was actually wrong. When you cut this off, this goes down into this kind of tapered part there, but it actually doesn't do anything in there, and that part is a part of the silencer proper. So I measured it up, and all I actually need to do is cut this one off right back to there, the joint where the taper comes down to being no longer tapered, just a flush piece of piping. And as you can see, because I've jumped ahead of you a wee bit here, Memento. I knew I had this somewhere. Right, let me just show you how it goes on the bike, because I've gone a wee bit ahead just to make sure I'm right. And so as you can see, guys, I've mounted it. All you need to do is actually mount it there where the narrow part of the pipe is, and that clamps on there nicely. This trim will cover the joint, as you can see. That's where it lives, and that will cover the joint absolutely perfectly. The clamp parts that sit here, the mounting bracket, as I'll show you there, fits absolutely perfectly on this. And as you can see, it really does look nice. So I'm going to do the other one now and fit it up, and let's see how it looks. So guys, I'm going to cut this round here with my grinderette, put this back on the bike with a balance pipe on it, mount that up so that it's in the correct position, and the new pipe should slide on there, clamp up, and bingo, we've got it. So let's do that just now. I'll start grinding now. I will turn the camera off again because it's so noisy. I'll cut through this right here, show what it looks like afterwards, and then we'll put the new silencer on. 2 minutes. Right guys, I got this chopped off in a little grinderette. As I say, it's incredibly noisy, so that's why I turn it off. So now, when you get these new pipes, these new silencers, they come with a number of these little collars which contract, you know, when they're pinched down, and you can get smaller and smaller. You know, they fit into each other by these little, you can just see the little, I don't know what you call them, little bubbles there, and you slide into each other. Stop it going right into the pipe, but allow that to get a smaller and smaller aperture. So that will just clamp onto that bit. I'll pop that in there. It's going to make an arse of me now, of course, but let's pop that in there. Pop its friend in as well. And that, when I rotate that till it just lines up with its friend, the little bubbles that I just mentioned. I've got the wrong glasses on here, so bear with me. I'm going to put the right ones on. Better, praise the Lord. Okay, you can see now, the little bubbles are aligned there. That's nice, and we've got the correct size aperture there. That will just slide onto that. Bingo, and pinch down, and it should be really nice. So, I'm going to put the headers back on the bike now. If there's a problem with this particular bike, it's that I've got all this nonsense here, this all this Vetter stuff on the front, which I'm going to leave on because it's probably the nicest one I've seen with the Vetter stuff on, which I don't normally like that much. But I'm going to, I'll leave it on because it all builds into actually a really kind of a bike with real synergy right through it. So I'll put the headers back on now, line up the balance pipe, put this in position, and then we can slide the silencer on, and I hope we'll be in just the right position. So let's get the camera moved and I can show you that. Guys, knowing what I know now, I needn't have taken this system off at all. I could just have cut this through here as I've just shown you, and you could have slid this on, just as I'm going to show you now. The brackets here are pretty, I've not even loosened these, because these, luckily, these pipes fit superbly. So you can see I've got all the little reducers in there, two little reducers. That should slide straight on there. And I'm going to put these bolts in here. These slide in like that, and should go something like into the bracket there. Now, things are seldom as easy as I've just made out. Let's give it a go. So that goes on there. Hold it on. Both out now, but never mind, that's not the end of the world. And it just shows you it's live. And I get these nuts on here. I do need to pop a screwdriver just in there just to hold the head of the bolt and stop it moving. But this one is actually pinched up reasonably well, so let's nip this one up. I think you'll agree, guys, it's a fantastic way to keep the bike looking the way it did when it came out of the factory, and you know, keep that really important 4x2 configuration. And all I need to do now is nip this. I've got my ratchet here, yes I have. I've got a 12mm on it. Yes I have. Making sure it's in exactly the right position to pinch down firmly onto the that one's not captive, so we just need a spanner on there, or as we now can say, a wrench. There, and that looks absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to nip all this up now. All the headers and things are just a little bit loose, as is the balance pipe. Let's nip this up so it's in the right position, and then I'm going to pop the wheel in. I'm going to start it up. See you in a minute. Right guys, we've got the clothes back on this Z650, and whilst I'm not the biggest fan of this Vetter stuff, this one's all kind of put together with a kind of a synergy through the bike that I'm kind of inclined to leave it as it is. I've had lots of these before, and I usually take these off and sell them to the trike brigade, but this one has the full fairing, which is very unusual. It's got the showy bags here and this nice top box here, so it all kind of fits well together. The exhaust look great on the bike, and we've saved it from being these things here, full of holes, to being these nice megaphones on it. If I could criticise them, they're just a bit noisy, and the guy who wants this bike might not like that. I think the guy that likes this might want a quiet bike, but it remains to be seen. On any other, if it were a naked bike, it's look and sound great, but let's just see how it pans out. But one way or another, at least we've saved the exhaust, and we've not gone down the road of putting a 4x1 on it. So in that sense, it's a real good win. And the bike, I think it looks complete through now. So I'm going to take it out for a ride now. You've been on this one before, I think, so I'll not take you with me. But I'm quite pleased with it overall, and that's it finished now, so I'll be giving it a good clean up, and let's get on for sale and see if we can find that winner. Okay guys, thanks for that, I'll speak to you soon.